motion, is there a second? Alder Cole, would you like to second the motion to approve minutes from July 10th? Alder Cole? Alder Cole, I assume you can't hear us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, would you like to second the motion to approve the minutes for the July 10th meeting?
Oh, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Would you like to second the motion to approve the July 10th meeting minutes?
Yes. Yes, second.
We have a first and a second.
Alder Cole aware that he is the third person, so
Okay,
if he calls upon him.
make sure he is. Alder Cole, it's only three of us this evening present, so I just want to
Okay.
make sure, okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. A point of order here, make sure I'm correct. Do we need to, for the record, mention that Alder Caprillion is excused and Alder Sebastian is absent? Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item number 0753-23. Subject communicated, sponsored by myself, Alder Pete, submitting a new application for a Class A retail fermented malt beverage liquor permit premises for Power Petroleum, Inc., doing DBA Hometown on Lathrop, located at 2500 Lathrop Avenue. Mr. Abdul, is he, how do you pronounce it? Aziz Abdul, agent in association to item.
You got a speaker here you can attach to a phone?
You're on speaker, Alder Cole.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can hear everything you say, Alder Cole.
All right. So we're back here again. So this time you guys are just asking for beer?
Correct. Todd Terry on behalf of the applicants, Mr. Aziz and his son Charlie with Power Petroleum.
Okay, let's back up a minute, back to, regular procedure. I believe, we should need, would you like to, swear the person in?
Sure. Can you both raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything from, Attorney Arnn, is there anything from your office?
No, so this is just, the same applicant coming back for a different kind of
Sure.
application. They were here last time to file a petition to exceed the quota. They no longer need that since it's just a regular little Class A, which is just for fermented malt beverages.
Okay,
So they would not need the petition.
all right, thank you. Okay, obviously, you're here before us today with the change in the application is mainly why you had to come back because, okay, change from a large A to the small A. Okay. Mr. Abdul, could you please explain what you're going to do with your application?
I mean, this application?
Yes, with the
Yes, for-
beer license,
yes.
okay,
I do have the same license on my two other locations, in
okay,
the city of Racine,
okay,
so I'm going to be doing the same thing.
okay,
Another one?
okay. Alder Peterson or Alder Cole, do you have any questions?
Yeah, so what are the hours that they can serve? I don't remember them. What are your hours from serving beer?
I think the beer is allowed up to 8 a.m. till midnight, right?
That
6
is
a.m. to midnight.
correct.
6 a.m. to or 8 a.m., right?
Let me double check.
Midnight.
I have not looked at that.
I know
But
the
your
midnight-
your hours are more restricted. You're running 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, we are 6 a.m. open until 11 p.m. Open 6 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, so 6 to 11.
Yeah, that's
I think
allowed.
that's what all the.
And then then I have one more question. I get concerned about it. Are you guys gonna be selling single cans of beer? 'Cause that has been a worry for, off and on at places, and I worry about people coming in there and buying one can of beer, and I was hoping we could not sell single cans.
Yeah, we primarily do, 4-packs would be, usually we sell 4-packs. But we do, go under the discretion of the beer companies as well and kind of take into consideration what they're recommending as well. But yeah, in general, usually we target 4-packs to be the lowest.
Yeah, well, I would like, I guess, if you guys would be okay with it. I never heard of a beer company targeting that they'd bring in single cans of beer.
It would be the large cans.
It'd be the large, if that's what you're referring to, they're like the large, I think they're 24-ounce cans.
Yeah, that's a concern for me, and I would just hope, go ahead, am I interrupting?
No, you're fine.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody. So my thing is, I just worry about, if I'm gonna come in there and get gas and get a single can of beer, my concern is people, and I know it's not on you guys, but my concern is people buying these single cans, drinking them, tossing them out their windows and stuff like that. And I was just wondering if you guys would be willing not to sell single cans of beer.
I think you'd probably be, my impression is you'd be about the only ones in the city, not selling single beer.
Present locations already do that, correct?
Say that again?
The present locations do that right now. I can say.
There's a few, there are a few that do that. I know over the years, we have had people come in and we've asked them not to sell single cans, and I don't know if they do that every year or not.
I can say from our, the 2 licenses that we already, have in Racine over the past 10+ years, we've never encountered the issue of people drinking on our property and tossing cans outside or anything. We really try to stay on top of that stuff and make sure that's not going on.
Alder Peters.
Oh, no, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
When you say the, distributors or the, manufacturers of the alcohol try and get you to sell singles or whatever, do they come in singles, or do you guys unpack them and sell them as singles?
No, they come in singles, so they're cases with singles in them. They don't come like prepackaged or anything.
Right.
They're meant to be sold as tall cans of singles.
Yeah, that's what I would interject here,
Thank you.
and that, I'm sorry,
Oh, I just said thank you.
that, some of them are distributors sell the large cans, whether it's 24, one time, I'm telling my age, but they used to call them 40 ounce. And I guess.
Come on, I got you guys.
Awesome. But we'll give him a second. Okay, you can hear us?
Any more questions, Alder Cole?
He's got something.
Alder Coy muted you because there's a lot of background interference. You'll have to do star 67 to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Did you have any other questions?
No, I'm not trying to make it hard on these folks. I know they've been a long time since they, got this, been working on this, so I guess I'll be okay with this.
Okay, thank you, Alder Cole. Alder Peterson, do you have any other comments or questions? Okay, at this time, a motion would be in order.
Motion's
I'm sorry?
I just double-checked the ordinance with the question about the closing hours. So state law, it usually allows for the sale of beer on Class A premises between 6 and midnight. The city actually restricts those hours to 8 a.m. So even if you open at 6 a.m., which you can do, you can't start selling beer until 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You have to be done at midnight, at 11, closing hours.
Yeah, we start selling the beer there to Glasgow after that, you know.
That's
That's
what
what
we
we are doing
currently,
here.
that's what we currently practice at our businesses.
Thank you, Attorney. Okay, we have a motion, and did we have a second? I'm sorry.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carries. Good luck, gentlemen.
Very much.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item number 0760-23, subject communication sponsored by myself, Alder Pete, submitting a change of ownership application for a Class B retail fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for K&A Fisher, LLC DBA Michigan Pub, located at 1300 Michigan Avenue, Racine, Wisconsin. Amanda Fisher, agent, 4th District. Thank you for coming forward. You're here before us today for a new ownership of a Class B license taking over Michigan Pub. Attorney Arn, would you please swear the applicant in?
Sure. You raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Are you okay? Attorney Arn, is there anything from your office concerning this application?
No, not in particular. We did meet for a good neighbors meeting with the rest of the department. Mr. and Mrs. Fisher are taking over the Michigan Pub, as you indicated. They don't have any specific experience in the alcohol industry, but they are working with mentors and other local bar owners to assist them in the process. As far as health and building departments go, they just need to apply for an occupancy permit as well as a health department license. They know that a license won't be issued to them until they do get that process done and approved and inspected. And then the police department did not have any issues to report.
Thank you very much. Ms. Fisher, can you please explain what you're going to be doing with your application?
So basically continuing the same business, that they're currently doing, with the bar and, taking over the change of ownership.
Okay. Alder Peterson.
No changes, there's no food there right now, is there?
Just pizzas and, chips.
Chips, that kind of
So,
stuff.
no, no plans for any kind of kitchen or anything like that.
Did, PD talk to you at all about security issues with cameras and, the need to call for assistance immediately, not actually a good thing?
Yeah.
Call for assistance and not try to hide it.
Yeah, we discussed
Get you into
it.
trouble.
Yep, in a good neighbor meeting, we discussed it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Alder Peterson. Alder Cole, do you have any comments or questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I know two of the people that are involved in this endeavor here, and they are good bar owners, and I do trust them to run good business here. So I'd be very supportive of this.
Thank you, Alder Cole. Alder Peterson, do you have any other comments? I just had one comment. I understand that you realize that you don't have the ability or permission to have outside music.
Correct.
Okay, as I spoke with your Alderman or sent an email.
Yep.
Okay, are there any questions or comments from the committee members? Well, seeing none, at this time, a motion would be in order.
Move to approve.
Motion and a second. Motion passes.
Oh, you gotta vote on it.
I'm sorry. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We did apply for those. Sorry.
Thank you. Common council meeting is next week. You'll get notice from the city clerk's office.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item number 076223. Subject communication sponsored by myself, submitting an application for a change of agent with a Class B club fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for Fifth Street Yacht Club of Racine, DBA Fifth Street Yacht Club, located at 761 Marquette Street, Racine, Wisconsin, 53404. James Molesky, agent, First District. Thank you, sir, for coming forward.
You're welcome.
You're here today for a change of agent at Fifth Street Yacht Club. Will Attorney Arn please swear the applicant in?
Sure. You can raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney Arn and the city clerk's office, is there anything from your office that the committee should know of?
Fine.
Thank you very much. Mr. Molesky, can you please explain what you're doing with your application?
Our current agent is stepping down, and I stepped up to take his place. I was agent in 2004. That's when we used to change agents, as we had new Commodores stepping in, and city didn't appreciate that. So
Okay.
we're just on course and keeping one person all the time.
Okay. Thank you very much. Does anyone in the committee have any questions?
Sounds like you've done this before, so you're familiar with all the responsibilities of the agent?
Yes.
Alder Cole, do you have any questions or comments?
No, I'm
Alder
good
Cole?
with this. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
I'm
Yes,
good
sir.
with it.
Now I can. Thank you very much. At this moment, a motion would be in order.
Move to approve.
Okay, a motion and a second. Motion, this time we'll give it to Alder Cole, Alder Peterson second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Good luck again, sir, and continue the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item number 076123. Communication sponsored by myself submitting a change of ownership application for a Class B retail fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license for Bob's Basement 2, LLC DBA Break and Run Billiards, located at 2037 Lathrop Avenue, Racine, Wisconsin, 53405. Robert Woodford, agent, 14th District. Mr. Woodford, thank you for coming forward. Does the clerk's office have, does the clerk's office have anything?
I do
A clerk or the attorney's office?
I do have one thing. In the verbiage on the agenda, it does say, submitting a change of agent is actually a change of ownership.
Yep.
That was just a clerical error. We'll get that
Okay,
fixed before we
that's-
close the council.
Okay. You're here before us today for a change of ownership at Break and Run Billiards. Could you please explain what you're doing with your application?
Keeping business as it has been since 2000. No change in structure, no change in daily business, pool tournaments, pool leagues, things like that.
Okay. Does any of the committee members have any questions or comments? Alder Peterson?
I don't recall this business coming up at all in any of the police reports, which is a good thing. So my question is, are you running it in the same manner, or are you gonna be changing the operation anyway?
Not changing anything, no, sir.
Alder Cole, do you have any comments or questions?
I just would like to know what kind of, has this guy ever done this before? What kind of experience does he have running a bar, if he had any?
I've been working at Break Run for the last year, been managing it solely by myself for the last 3 months. That's the only experience I have.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you.
Well, I've been over in that area because there's other businesses right in that area. And from what I've always observed over at least 20 years, things seem to run smoothly. And as one of the other alders said, there doesn't seem to be a lot of police activity or negative things to worry about. Are there any other questions, comments from the committee? Seeing none, at this time, a motion would be in order.
To approve.
Alder
Second,
Cole, would you like?
second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
We'll go for the county council next week, you'll get notice from the city clerk's office.
Now we move to the next item on the agenda, item number 094-23. Communication sponsored by Alderman McCarthy, submitting an application for hours permission description change for 1516 LLC, DBA the 1518, located at 1520 Washington Avenue, Chicago, Buckley, Agent, 3rd District. Is there anyone?
Yes, Tyrone Buckley.
Okay, thank you. The most recent recommendation of the Public Safety and Licensing Committee on July 10th, 2023 was to defer. Thank you for coming up. Attorney Arnn, does your office have any information, or Sergeant Legate?
Sergeant Legate will have more information with respect to the premises, but I do have to note the experience of the agent is actually required, and Mr. Buckley is not the named agent. It's Jaquila Buckley, his daughter, who has to be here.
Okay.
I assume that was clear in the notification?
It does simply state in the letter that the agent is mandatory for appearance. It does say agent with appearance is mandatory.
And Mr. Buckley's name is actually nowhere on the license application, so he can't speak on behalf of the...
I get it, I just wanted to make sure it was proper notification.
So in this case, I think the committee has an option to either dismiss or defer.
So the committee would either defer or vote on a motion, based on the information that the police department has, without the agent being here.
We can continue that part, even though...
Right, you can listen to what the police department states, and you can make a decision. There's no, the agent was notified, they're not here. The committee, if it wants to and wishes to make a decision and move forward based on the information from the police department, it could do that, or it could defer if it wants to hear from the actual agent.
Thank you. Also, Legate, could you please?
So I ran, just the premise history from the last time they were here. There was 2 extra attention calls. There was a fight call that happened, outside the bar. The officers were in the area, they saw the fight, they took care of the fight. The person operating the bar saw that there was an altercation in the back of the bar, so they closed the bar, so there wouldn't be any more altercations, which was good on them, and that was before the hours of closing hours, so that happened at like 11. There was an incident that happened in the parking lot that wasn't related to the bar at all, but we just used that address just in case you heard anything about that. That wasn't involved with the bar. So at this point, they've done what they've had to do since the last committee meeting.
Thank you, sir. Alder Peterson?
I guess I'm a little torn in that the agent's required. I mean, this has been a long process. They seem to be doing everything they're supposed to do, so I'm leaning towards saying yes. You're saying that is an option, but I'm also torn that they were notified that the agent's supposed to be here.
Well, actually, the last 2 meetings before the one you guys canceled, we never got the letters. They said you guys were returning them, but we did get this last letter from this one. You know, for some reason, they were saying that the letters kept getting returned. That's why we wasn't appearing at the other one. We didn't even know.
Yeah, I think there was one where you guys didn't appear. Did you guys get the notification for this one?
Well, when we went down, we ended up giving her grandma's address, and one came to the 1630. For some reason, they're not coming. They're returning from over at the property or whatever. I don't know why.
My question is, you received the notification where it said the agent.
Yeah, she got it. I didn't. She just actually could appear. She said she was gonna try to come. She's a nurse. She's at work. She was gonna try to make it on her break, but apparently she.
So you're saying Shaquilla is not here because she's at work?
Yeah, she's at work, and she tried to make it here on her break, but she tried to take her lunch break at the time that this meeting was, but, you know, I guess she's the head nurse, so she can't just.
Okay. Thank you. Alder Cole, do you have any comments or questions?
Well, just a couple things. So last month they were supposed to be here and they didn't show up, but there was something that was wondering if we sent them the notification or not. And I don't know if the city clerk had sent them a notification that time, and that's why I'm asking this.
Go ahead.
Sure.
Yes.
Alright, so July 7th, that was the meeting that we needed to defer because I did not have an attached letter to the agenda, and I was unsure if staff had actually sent a letter or not, and then we did not send a letter to that one. That is why we asked for beginning of the month, last month, for it to be deferred.
Thank you.
Okay, and then one last thing. So there was something, I know he left now, but there was some sort of something from the police chief, and I was wondering if the police, Mr. Legath could speak on that item, what the police chief's recommendation was.
I cannot because the police chief, never told me anything.
Okay, and they never sent nothing to the city clerk's office, because I heard there was something sent out that the police chief didn't want these hours exceeded. And this is what was my understanding.
Clerk's office did not receive anything in writing from the former chief.
I was informed of that as well, but again, I did not receive anything.
Okay. Yes, sir.
One more question. The lady you had with you here last time, is she still your manager, or?
Yeah, she's doing the books and stuff, and then, actually, Antonio manages now, so, you know, hands-on. Since the incident with Machiavelli, out there, and my daughter was out there, I really don't. I've asked the police, could they give me, like some security or something, or even park that van down there, even though we ain't been in nothing, I just, would feel better, but they said they can't do it, but I see the van parked at other places. It's baffling, you guys will secure First Friday, but I can't get a cop to sit in the back parking lot that they already sit in, but.
First Fridays isn't really a business.
With this chief, this is the first I heard of it, but I plan to go over to the station, like, I don't know why we're not being informed of it. Is this something secret or something? Or, I know they said they sent out emails or whatever, wouldn't we get something saying they are against the hours or whatever, and an explanation, or is this just something that?
The chief is no longer working with the city of Racine, so we don't know.
Everything's just.
So is it somebody in this place?
So former chief, so.
Or is it someone in?
Okay. Alder Cole, do you have any other comments or questions?
Yeah. What hours were they asking for now? To close?
So they are, I can answer that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
So they are required to be closed at midnight right now, and they're asking for it to be moved, I believe, to.
I think it was 2, wasn't it?
I think it was 2.
So midnight to 2 o'clock, I'll be closed.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I have a couple concerns here, and I understand what you all are trying to do, is trying to run a business is commendable, but I'm thinking about the fact that we have the agent who can't make it. You're representing her, which is commendable. Then we have another person that's also working in.
Well, I'm the owner of the building. I built this.
I understand that, but from the legal point of view, we have to look at the person who's going to be held legally responsible, and that's the agent. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just.
To some degree, wouldn't I be, I own the building? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, sir. We're not giving you the license. See, that's the issue. Or the city isn't giving you the license, it's giving to Ms. Buckley. Okay. So, are there any other comments or questions?
I was trying to reach her by phone, and she said that she could appear by phone.
Okay.
But I don't know.
All right. Well,
I don't know that'd make a difference, because y'all saying the chief said they.
Well, like I say, that's informal at the moment, because it never occurred. So that probably shouldn't, it's not an issue. Like I said, the only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the communication between the three of you. The agent and your manager and the gentleman here and yourself. Because like you were saying about the letters and all this thing.
No, it wasn't no, with none of them, I went downstairs and we were asking why because we were informed, I was actually coming to see when the next meeting was.
Okay.
And turns out we had missed 2 prior meetings.
Okay.
And so, they said, and I was like, well, we never got letters, and they said, well, the letters were returned.
Okay.
And so then when we went to the next meeting, it was
Okay.
canceled. So then, now we're at this meeting.
All right. Thank you. If there are no other questions from the committee members, at this time, a motion would be in order. Is there a motion? I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
I will give a second for this one, and I'm hoping they got all their ducks in a row on this, Mr. Buckley. You guys have done a great job rehabbing this place. I just want to see it flourish. So good luck.
Thank you, sir.
We have a motion and a second. All of those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. Oh, sorry.
Let them know.
I heard you. I heard you before it came out of the speaker. Delayed.
But let them know that this don't go into, if they have to wait until after the council meeting.
Okay.
Next Tuesday, so pay
A
attention.
week from tomorrow.
Yeah, so this weekend,
Well, he ain't gonna, he's, like I said, I don't even be over there. He got a 30 and up crowd.
Okay. Okay,
And
thanks.
just for the record, like, it ain't like we're gonna go to 2 anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like, we.
You want flexibility.
Yeah, just a smooth
Okay.
lounge, not
All right.
a fire.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, I need to move, thank you. Okay, good luck, congratulations, and thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is item number 073023, subject communication sponsored by myself, requesting the appearance of Zawani G. Simpson for a new operator's license, First District. Is the applicant?
New license?
Yes. What's your last, I'm looking for Simpson.
your Shawhan.
Yeah, okay. Should we defer, or
Motion to defer.
is there a motion to, we have a motion? Alder Cole, would you second the motion?
Yes.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion to defer carries. Next item, item number 73123, communication sponsored by myself, requesting the appearance of Cody Swan? Shawhan, for a new operator's license, 12th District. Thank you for coming forward. Just a second, and the attorney will swear you in. Or actually, I can do it. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You're here for an operator's license application and having a false statement. Sergeant Legate, can you please speak on the item?
Yes. During your background check, you marked down that you hadn't had any convictions or anything like that. Upon doing your background check, we found that you had a misdemeanor charge in 2019, but you didn't specify on your application, so you were disqualified for that reason, for a false statement.
Yeah, so, I just read it, and I thought it said convicted of a felony. I didn't read misdemeanor, so I just didn't check that box. My employers, they know about it, 5 years ago, almost.
Okay, thanks for explaining. Alder Peterson, since you're here, you have any questions or comments?
It says you've been working there for the last 2 years?
Mhm.
Are you bartending with another
So,
bartender?
the only time I'll bartend is with another bartender, someone that has a liquor license. I'm actually managing it, so I do all the liquor orders, the food orders, I prep all the food, stock the back room, stuff like that, scheduling.
Been kind of a slippery slope as to things have gone in different directions for people in similar situations. So you're saying that you, convicted of any offenses? You have any offenses? I guess.
So I just think felony and.
Yeah. It doesn't say felon.
Felon.
It says, have you ever been convicted of any offenses?
Yeah, it is.
All right, that's fine. That was in 19, I remember correctly?
Yeah, January 2019.
All right, thank you very much.
Alder Cole, do you have any questions or comments?
Well, more of a comment. So this was his second offense with operating while intoxicated. And my concern about that is he's a bartender serving people that are gonna be out there driving. I understand things happen, I get that. But I just have concerns about this because they're serving alcohol to people. It's just a comment.
Thank you. Alder Perez.
In the past, I have been contacted by the leadership at Scores whenever there's an issue that they would like addressed. I was not contacted about this at all, in this circumstance. I had been to the bar a couple times. I had seen him, serving liquor. Never had any question about it. Now, is a second conviction considered just a ticket, or is that a criminal offense?
Criminal offense in the state of Wisconsin, if it's more than 10 years, or if it's less than 10 years since the first one.
Written up as a misdemeanor on.
Right, which means the first one was within 10 years before that.
It's only 1 in 10 years then, is what you're saying, right?
Well, the third one's the third one no matter what.
Gotcha.
But the second one is only a criminal offense if it's within 10 years.
Okay, gotcha. Any other questions or comments?
Just a question to ask the city attorney. When they get these convictions, how long do they have to wait to be able to apply for a license for a misdemeanor like this?
So in this particular case, the actual conviction for an OWI from 2019 does not disqualify him. It's only conviction for an OWI offense within 2 years of the application. So in this particular case, he's only disqualified because he failed to disclose it on his application.
Okay. Yep, that was my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Cole. Alder Perez.
So does that mean that, he can continue to serve there without a license on someone else's license, even though he doesn't qualify personally for a license himself?
Correct. Anyone can serve alcohol if they're above the age of 18 and they are being immediately supervised by someone with an operator's license.
And the supervision, does that have to do with the number of feet from the place? Or is that,
Premise.
what does that mean, supervision?
So immediately supervising means that the person is in a distance that's far enough where they can observe the person serving alcohol and supervise them and tell them if they're doing something correct or incorrectly. They can't, for example, be in the basement doing paperwork or be upstairs serving other customers. So that's not immediately supervising someone.
Thank you, sir. I have a question. I want to make sure I'm correct. He wouldn't have been disqualified if the information had been accurate on the application. Is that correct?
Correct. If he had just checked the box that said
Okay.
he had been convicted of an offense and disclosed it, he would not be convicted.
Okay. Would any of the other committee members have any other questions or comments? Well, seeing none, at this time, a motion would be in order.
Move to approve.
Alder Cole?
What did he say? I didn't hear him.
Alder Peterson moved to approve.
I'll second it.
We have a first and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
And I hope
Go
we
ahead,
don't
Alder.
see you here again.
No, you won't.
That's what I was going to say. Please don't do it again because I have a, well, anyway.
When you get your renewal, make sure it's done properly.
Okay, I will. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.
And then another question, do you guys send it to the email or to the address?
So we can, mail it to the address if you want, or since it's been approved today, if you wanna give us a call in the afternoon tomorrow, we can print it and you can come pick it up.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Item number 0733-23, subject communication sponsored by myself on behalf of the City of Racine Police Department for a licensed premises report.
Yes, so there was a short report, but there was two things I wanted to note and speak about. First one was from Taste of Soul. There was a call for a fight inside the tavern. Officers arrived there, spoke with some people, found that one of the problem parties left the bar. That party was stopped. Officers were getting conflicting stories from both parties involved, so there were multiple citations issued for a fight. In regards to that, I've also received some emails from officers working our night shifts about the large amount of crowd, or the large crowd near Taste of Soul. So I ran calls for service. So far this year, Taste of Soul's had 11 calls for service. They've had 2 noise complaints. They've had 5 complaints for large crowds, 2 fights, and 1 alarm call. I guess the concerning thing on the police side is the large crowds. I guess the issue we're having is crowds are hanging out on the side of the bar, and then they're impeding traffic. People are stopping and talking to people on the sidewalk, which is impeding traffic. Double parking, people aren't leaving the bar in an orderly fashion. The bar does do a good job calling when they are having problems, but we need to make sure we're doing a better job on the outside. So I just wanted to bring that to the committee's attention. I'm going to be watching that a little bit closer, and I also spoke with my officers if any new concerns come up to let me know about it, so I can let the committee know about that, but I wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. The next one's going to be double vision. This one is a frequent flyer. Officers got a complaint from one of the neighbors that was concerned over the tavern. The complainant stated that the tavern's very disruptive. They're not cleaning up after their patrons. The patrons are breaking stuff, being loud in the roadway. They're urinating in people's yards and in the yard of the establishments, and damaging surveillance equipment on the complainant's house. The officer on scene spoke with the tavern owner, who stated that the neighbors are problem themselves and causing some of the issues as well. So I ran calls for service for double vision for the year. They've had 60 calls for service. A majority of those have been extra attentions that officers have been providing. So just every time they go out there, they punch a form. Every time they punch a form, there's no problems or anything like that. There's been 7 loud music noise complaints. 3 of those have been unfounded. There's been 4 unwanted parties. Those were called in by the bar. There's been 1 fight, 3 civils, a burglary, and an attempted burglary. So I know we have a continuous extra attention for that with our third shift officers and our late power officers, so they're doing the best they can with that. But I know I brought it up to the committee's member before about double vision. I just wanted to let you know that the neighbor is still upset. But again, yeah, that's where we're at with that. So just so you're aware of that.
Thank you. You have some more?
No, other than that, it was just, I mean, there was this one, there was a lot of unhappy people at bars, but some of that was just how people are.
Okay, thank you. There are both items, Taste of Soul and double vision, seem to constantly come up every month. There's some kind of issues going on there. So, Alder Peterson?
See, double vision, it's a combination. Yeah, in regards to double vision in the neighbor and stating that there damages the surveillance cameras, did he do a report on any damage, or is this just, he said,
This is what they said when they spoke with the officer. When they came out, they said they damaged it, but the officer didn't document anything. So I don't know when that was, when there was there. I know there are some other issues with that neighbor as well that have been brought up. But again, it's one of those things where I just want to let the committee know that this person is continuously calling and is still upset. So they're made aware, but again, our officers are continuously providing extra attention when they can.
I appreciate that. Has he ever provided, or does he offer to provide video? I mean, if he's got surveillance.
Off the top of my head, no, I do not know of anything. So.
The night shift officers might want to suggest that you got a video, show it.
We've also our safe vehicle out in that area before, just to try to catch it.
The second all call.
There's been nothing. Currently, our state vehicle is actually in the 500 block of, 6th Street right now, right in front of Taste of Soul. So that's where we have it deployed right now.
Thank you. Alder Cody, were you making a comment?
Yeah, well, on both items, so I know, pertaining to double vision, I know that as far as I know, the police department has access to the man's video. I think they gave the police officers there to be able to check their video anytime. And there's a bar there that was operating for 50 years and 40 years. They never had any customers. And I've been out there, and yes, sometimes motorcycles are loud and stuff like that. But for the most part, I mean, I'd say for the most part, it's on the neighbor. And then I got a question asked. So Taste of Soul, I called the police or non-emergency number multiple times, and I get told, well, they're not bothering anybody, they're not causing any problem. But when I go by, there's last weekend, 100 people blocking the street for 45 minutes on 6th Street because I kept driving around. And they're drinking out there, they're getting high out there. And I want to know what we can do about that. If the businesses say they're calling the cops and the dispatch says, well, there's nobody causing a problem there, what is our recourse? Because I want to call them in because I'm getting so many complaints from the neighbors and businesses around there. It's ridiculous.
For the police side, if you're looking at trying to get officers to arrive there, it depends on what the person's saying when they're calling. If they're just saying that there's people out hanging out on the sidewalk, well, they're not doing anything wrong. But if you're saying that they're impeding traffic and they're drinking out in front of the bar, they're drinking in the street, or they're causing a disturbance, then we would respond. Again, it goes by the priority of the call as well, because we have a fine amount of officers to try to patrol a city that can sometimes be very difficult, and the priority of us going to handle people out in the middle of the street isn't always a priority. But I know officers are doing their best to provide extra attention to that area and do what they can. It all depends on what the caller says. If the caller says they're just being loud and they're out in front of the street or on the sidewalk, then they're not doing anything wrong. So they need to be more descriptive on what they're saying to the dispatcher.
So I guess I don't know if this is for the city attorney or whoever, but my concern is 100 people being out there, even if nothing's going on, they're loitering, they're not going in businesses, and they're very loud and disruptive. Do we have any recourse to help people that live over there?
Well, one of the recourse would be for the committee to call the person pursuant to a formal expression concern to identify what the issue is and see if we can face the problem that way. But if you're talking about citations, it really depends on, like Sergeant Legas stated, what's going on out there. It depends on each individual person, whether they're engaging in disorderly conduct or, loitering or peeing on the street. And then each individual can be cited. But if they're standing there on the sidewalk and they're, like you stated, not blocking traffic and not doing anything else, then obviously that person can't be cited. So it really is a very fact-dependent question that you're asking. I wouldn't be able to answer that unless I know the specifics of each instance. But again, the committee can call the licensee in if it wishes to address the issue, and that would be due to a formal expression of concern.
Well, I get
Go ahead,
okay, so 509 6th Street is got sold. So there won't be an issue there anymore because sometimes the bars blame each other. But I mean, we have to do something to figure out a way to get people. So here's for the police department. So if their people are out there just being loud, but they're not drinking or anything like that, and I'm a business owner that has that place there and I don't want them there, and I call the police and they're getting told that, well, they're not causing any problem, what recourse does that business owner have?
It would depend on if they're in front of their business. Are you talking about the Taste of Soul calling or a business around them?
Well, the Taste of Soul calling, I mean, my understanding is there's a couple times that he called And they just said, well, if they're not bothering anybody, but they had the whole side on Park Avenue and all the way the whole front of the building. There was probably the one weekend before last, probably over 100 people out there when I called. I mean,
Again, it would depend on the circumstances of the situation on how we would proceed that. If they were calling and saying they had unwanted parties in the area or along the side of their establishment, then we would probably go there and try to move people along. I mean, one thing I think that could possibly be done is putting up no loitering signs in that area.
they have no loitering signs up there for years, and it's not doing anything. I'm trying to figure out a way to not punish a business, but to get the business to try to work with us, because we can't keep going on with this, because, I mean, it's not fair to the people that live there either. I mean, well, I guess, I would like to call them in I would like to call them in for concern. Just because this has been going on for weeks again. So I would like to call them in. So I make a motion that we call them in.
Alder Peterson, is there a second? I would call on someone else, but I like you.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second. All in favor, please signify by aye to call the owners, the operators of Taste of Soul in for questioning on the issues. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
And
Go ahead, Alder Cole.
is there any other concerns from the PD on this list we have?
No, he said he only had the two Taste of Soul and Double Vision.
Then
Okay, if there are no other, I'm
I
sorry,
make a motion to receive and file this item.
is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes to receive and file item number 733-23. Last item on the agenda is item number 078123, communication sponsored by myself requesting any consideration, any formal expression of concern or other actions pursuant to the police report.
Take care of it.
Same motion or.
Okay. Alder Cole, would you please make the motion?
Motion to
No
receive
need.
and file. Motion to
Okay.
receive and file.
Issue the formal expression of.
The formal
Okay,
expression of,
okay. So I make a motion for the formal expression of concern for Taste of Soul.
Second.
we have a first and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Motion passes. The meeting,
We need a motion
Wait.
to recommend item for referral.
is there a motion? Which item should we use though?
It would be 0781, so you obeyed one of the lines would show that you're calling in table, and then I would need a motion to bring that item to
Okay.
council. If that makes sense.
So move.
I would,
For the report, is calling them, and I think the whole item, I think what we've done before in the past, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, we've made multiple motions to call in different people, but then also recommended the item go to council. I mean, that's what we've done in the past, but I mean, whatever the commission.
okay.
Okay, what she said.
Okay, you want to do it and make multiple motions for each one of them and reference item 73323. Is that correct, Alder Cole?
Yes.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, so how you want to do it?
It's already going to the, as written, it'll be
Yes.
going to the,
The assistant city clerk will make sure that it gets to common council, which will be recorded as calling in the Taste of Soul expression concern.
Okay. So, have we made a motion on it? We started talking about
there was no motion.
it. Okay. We need to make one though.
No, we're all done.
Okay.
Everything's expired.
Adjourn.
Okay, then we are officially adjourned.
Oh, no, wait, there's one more item. the girl that didn't show up, do we have to defer her for the next meeting, or did we do that? For the,
Yeah, we did that.
okay, I thought it was just till the end of the meeting. I wanted to make sure. Okay.
We're good. Thank you, Alder Thank you very much, Alder Peterson.